No, no, there's another one. Okay. Yep. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Marie Celestin. Today we have a great guest in the studio. We have Aubrie Pagano, who is a former member of the Girls Project and host of Girl TV. She is back to talk about her brand new business called Zoora, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
back like 10 years later.
I know, like, this is like post Girl TV, life after Girl TV. What's been going on?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
welcome to the show. So usually
Thanks.
you on the other seat, you get to ask the questions, but
this is
now
much more
you're
interesting.
Like, you are the guest.
Yeah.
I get to ask the questions. So
Less pressure.
yeah, so usually you had a little practice back in October because you attended the conference and talked to the girls about what you've been up to since high school, college, and the whole thing. So
Yeah.
do you want to talk a little bit about what you've done after graduating high school?
After graduating high school,
Yeah,
sure.
we're going way back.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
just
of
college.
course. So I graduated high school, and then I stayed in Boston, and I went to Harvard University, where I studied history and literature, which is totally unrelated
So
to
unbusinesslike.
to what I went into after I graduated. So I graduated and actually became an internal consultant working in a strategy group at Fidelity Investments, which is a big financial firm, which most people know the Green Line.
Yeah.
So.
It's like very different from literature. You didn't become the editor of like a publication or something.
No, I wasn't a good enough writer, so I had to choose
So
business.
yeah, so now you're back with the line, and I heard I think you talked a little bit about that at the conference. I just wanted to talk more about what inspired you to create your own business as an entrepreneur versus but then still juggling so much.
Yeah, so I was at Fidelity, and I had always known, even I took the job at Fidelity because I thought it would be a great opportunity to learn about business, and what a better place than a really big business.
Yeah, I know, it's huge.
So I had always known that was sort of a dream of mine, and I have always been into fashion. That has been one thing that has been sort of consistent in my life.
I had to think back because I was like, that was there all along. Because I remember you had a strong sense of style, partly because I think you used to wear these floral thingy on your jacket.
Oh yeah, I had like
I
made a flower that I would always wear. Yeah,
always. So
yeah,
I was like,
no, exactly. So I had always thought fashion was the really great thing about it is because it expresses your own personality, and I think clothes should be as unique as people are and as unique as their personalities are. So. So that was sort of, and I didn't know how I would apply that. So I actually started working at night and on weekends for a designer in the South End. And so in working with her, I got to know the business a lot better, and then sort of put two and two together and said, there's these two problems in the market, right? So one is that women want more choice in their clothing, and they want things to be unique just like they are. Women have, tons of clothing in their
probably never
closets.
wear.
Yeah, the average I think is 22 garments that women have in their closet that they never wear.
Really?
And a big part of that is because women settle, right? It's because you go and you're like, well, this is kind of right, so okay, I'll buy it. So I said that's a problem.
Yeah.
And then the other problem that I saw in working with designers was that it's really hard as a really talented independent designer to scale your business. Right? You're an artist, you just want to create clothes. You don't want to deal with building a website. Marketing your brand, distributing it. So I said,
this is like the non-creative aspect.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Which is draining.
Exactly, which is like, you want to do the stuff you're good at.
Yeah.
So, and not to say that all artists aren't, but it's not their natural forte, let's say. So, so I said, well, why not connect these two? There's a lot of independent designers out there who are really talented, who work really flexibly with their customers to meet their needs. And then there are customers who just wish they had more choice in their stuff. So,
and choices is good. I mean, I think typically people look with like new line or whatever's going on in magazines or whatever, and it's just pretty much the same. And there's always that concern, like, okay, is whatever I see out there on the runway really for real women? And even those people who say, oh, I make it for real women, it just seem to never really sort of meet that.
Right, and it's and a lot of couture clothing is made with a certain aesthetic and theme in mind, and that's sort of the artist's creation, and then that's just out there for you to absorb, right? And I think what is great about what Zoora's doing is allowing women to say, well, I like that garment, but what if I tweak the color? That would fit me better. Or what if I made the hemline different? You know, that would make that piece appealing to me instead of having it be a 2-inch seam from the waist, you know?
That's it. It doesn't fit anymore.
Yeah. Why not have it be like a 10-inch seam so that you could wear it to work? So that's what people can do on the site.
And then for now, for people who are just hearing about the company, so what's the best way to sort of get more information or see how they can sort of get your products?
Yeah, well, the easiest way, so we're launching the site next Monday, and you can find out about the site by going on our website, which is www.zoo-ra.com. And currently on the site, you can sign up for our email alert when we launch. So you can either check back on Monday or you can sign up. And actually, if you refer friends through that tool that's on the site right there, when you enter your email address. So you can actually do it yourself, Marie, right now if you like.
Okay, we're going to enter now. Let's see.
Oops. Now the world knows your email address.
Oh, they already know. They already know what it is. I get tons of stuff. So let's just do the Girls Project. .org.
Right.
You just go.
And so you go, and then if you see, there's all these incentives that if you share the word about Zoora, you can be entered into our contest to win free dresses for life. You can get discounts on the site. You can get free shipping. There's a ton of different credits and incentives to go on. So everyone should definitely
go on there. So this is the. So do I use this link to paste it on my Facebook page so friends can?
Yeah, you can use that link. You can recommend it. You can tweet it right from our site.
So everything can be done directly from there. So you on Facebook, you on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So
Facebook,
right on the page
Twitter,
you can see it, and people can just start spreading the word right before the big launch of the website, which is exciting. So you have a great team. One of the thing I remember about your company is the fact that it was primarily women, which I was so happy about. But you have a great team of talented people who work in different aspects of the business. So how did you go about choosing the people who work there?
Yeah, well, that's been a big learning curve for me too. I think my first job out of college, I was obviously hiring people, but it was for a very specific role, and so amassing a well-rounded team that gels well together and people who have certain strengths and skill sets that we need specifically has been it's definitely a lot more work. And so we I've done a lot of interesting things to try and gather the team. I've gone to a lot of networking events to try and find the right person. I've posted on places where you would never like our head buyer I found posting in different markets on Craigslist, so outside of Boston. She actually lives in St. Kitts in the Caribbean. I know. That's where we want to have our next staff meeting.
I would love to
just invite ourselves. Yeah, exactly. You can come too.
Perfect.
Yeah,
in this snowy situation. So, so you have a great team. So technology must be huge, considering that's where most people will be learning about the products and the designers.
Yes. So that's like table stakes, right? Is that everybody on our team has to be very fast with that. And a huge hire was hiring our technical person who can drive the work forward.
And then social media seemed to be huge, even though this is the best way everybody's hearing about the buzz right now. That's how I heard about it. I was just like, what? Something is coming up?
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge, obviously for startups, it's a huge space because it's such a low acquisition cost for customers, but then also specifically in fashion, fashion bloggers and social media really make the fashion world go round, and it's really powerful in that space. So to really play in that space and be a leader, we need to have really robust social media. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a great way because that's how I first heard. And the name itself, actually, I've never heard the backstory in terms of how did you come up with that name?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking about names for, it had to be like 3 weeks straight of just like exhaustive lists. Yeah. And Zoora kind of stuck in my mind because Zoora in Italian means measurement or size. Oh. And so obviously I'm Italian and I kept coming back to it as like, it's kind of catchy, it's Italian, it's a tailoring word.
That's cool.
And so then I sort of bastardized it for Americans, and now it's Zoora. Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to say, and I think that's the great thing about it. Just kind of reminds me sometimes when we're trying to figure out like every year we have to come up with like a theme, and so you spend so much time on like 3 words or 1 word for like,
Absolutely.
but this is like your brand forever.
There's a lot of, yeah, and there was a lot, I mean, obviously there's a lot to that too. It was like, okay, once we thought Zoora was catchy, we had to think about what does the name elicit?
Yeah.
Like, does it remind you of anything else? Does the nomenclature and the form fit? Like, it's very simple, it's clean.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like a fashion-y word, even though it's like sort of a non-word. So
I mean, I think it's fun. I think,
it.
I don't know, it just seemed very creative, like when I hear it. And some words are interesting, even though it's not an English word. Like, it kind of reminded me when I was watching, I'm forgetting the name of the movie. But all I know is the English translation in Italian is like the art of doing that one word in Italian from that movie.
Oh, that's funny.
But then I'm like, I just love the word itself. But when you hear it, it's like, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
And it's easy to say. So,
which was a big part of it too.
Yeah, so it's not like a mouthful.
If it's memorable,
like,
you
know that one, that company, like you can't remember it. So that was awesome. So, and it's fun and fashion-like, and I love. I don't know who designed the logo, but you know, just looking at it, you know, like what to expect. And it's fun.
Yeah, he did a really nice job. It's sort of subtle, but it's not too literal.
Yeah.
So it was great. Like, stuff like that is just also, that's been a huge part of it too. I forgot to mention, you know, you were asking about how do I hire people, just like leveraging networks has been a huge thing. I feel like starting a company now versus starting it right out of school is actually probably a better move, because I feel like I'm more grounded.
So that's a plus.
Yeah, because there's a ton of people, you know, like photographers, like web designers, graphic designers, like friends who work for marketing for companies to sponsor events. Like, people are sort of starting to get ingrained in their own sort of paths at this point in our lives. So it's really great to be able to now reach out to friends and be like, you know, we can all help each other out.
Yeah. So I think it's great. And then to see sort of the whole thing emerging, and then just planning to sort of go public and let people know how they can get involved. I was also excited to learn about the designers and what type of offerings you're going to be having for women, for all women or anyone who's interested in buying on the website. So you brought some samples.
I did. So this is one of my favorite designers, and for spring this season, bright pastels are really in. And my personal favorite is mint. Mint is like my new color for spring. So I take that with me. So I brought 2 of the same sample to show how you can really customize things on the site. So for instance, we have these sort of cropped big pocket pants. So I'll hold them up, but so they're really neat, and they sort of they have these giant pockets that just flow down the side. They give it a really nice flow to these pants. So they're super comfy, they're elastic, and you can crop the leggings to be longer or shorter. They're currently at a sort of crop ankle length, but you can sort of crop them, and you can order them in different colors as well. So I brought pink, because that's another color that'll be big this season.
Very nice.
And on the site, we actually tell you, you know, which colors or styles look good on different body types. We sort of give recommendations and curation for people so that they, you know, kind of like an art gallery or an art museum, we sort of pick things for people. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great to think about that. For me, a lot of time I'm looking at certain things and I'm just like, anything that seems to accentuate like hips, I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. It's like not gonna work. It's like, I'm like, pockets there, no thank you.
Well, and that's, I mean, it's a common problem, right? Like, size is just like a perennial, especially online, because like you can't touch or feel the things, right? You just have to sort of go on face value.
Yeah.
So,
but these things, the good thing with the pants, they're not rigid, so it's gonna flow and just sort of fall to the side, and it moves.
Absolutely.
So a lot of time, even thinking about the fabric itself, not just the style, and so a lot of time you have to really think about what you're going to be wearing and what it's going to look like. And usually people sort of focus on the mannequin, for example, and I'm just like, I don't think so, because it's like not going to work. But I think it's great to sort of have different designers who may have different style and offer sort of like, again, like you were saying, more choices to customers who come on and looking for something unique that they don't find in other places.
Yeah, most of the designers are contemporary, so our target market is sort of the 20 to 40-year-old woman who lives in the city, like loves trendy clothes. So so that's our main market. But then within that, I mean, that's a huge range. We have like edgy stuff, we have street stuff, we have really whimsical and boho stuff. So
is it mostly casual and non-work? clothing or
it's everything. So
it's more versatile where you can sort of transition.
We organize the site by occasion, so you can search by like day if you're looking for something for a cocktail party. If you're looking for something for work, you can sort products that way as well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because I think a lot of time, some people may shop by occasion.
Oh, for sure.
So it's like, okay, there's a big thing coming.
Yeah.
And luckily, by the time people hear about this, it's gonna be like February and hopefully warmer, so they'll have different, you know, at least in the East Coast.
Yeah.
You're not worried so much about the snow and wearing like all these layers
absolutely.
and so on.
Right. So there's like wedding season, formal season, you know, even prom season in some cases. So there's
so lots
a ton
to
of
work
occasions
on. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's been really fun and rewarding. Any challenges you met at the beginning or along the way up until now that you weren't prepared for? I'm sure school or even though you were in the business setting that you don't usually sort of get all the, you know, warning in terms of, oh, watch out for this, but you get warning, but then other things come up that no one ever told you to.
Ooh, so that's a big, broad question if you're talking about from high school till now. But I would say,
well, from the time you started the company, like strictly the company itself.
I thought you were saying like...
You're like, that's huge. You're like, where do I start?
That's a long time.
I
know. So I think, and with startups, right, there are like challenges every day because you're, one of the advisors that I had met had said something really profound. He said that entrepreneurs are constantly fighting the inertia of failure. Oh. Right? So you're sort of always on the brink. I know. So I think there are natural challenges every day. Yeah. But I think, you know, the big things are getting you hit on one of them, which is garnering a motivated and passionate and competent team. And we've definitely met some challenges. You know, I've had, in the beginning, I had team members that didn't deliver on what they say they did. And so you just have to sort of stay focused on what the goal was. And have a valid, candid conversation with people. So that's been a big challenge. And I think, you know, in the beginning, it's really hard if we have a two-sided market, right? So we're telling customers about this, but we're also garnering all these designers. And so it was really hard in the beginning to tell designers about something that didn't exist, right? It's like, this site is gonna be great. Yeah. Like, this is the stuff we're gonna do. And they're like, show us it. It's like, well, it's not real yet, but when it is, it's gonna be awesome. So I think that was a big challenge
to sort of believe in that vision, unseen.
Yeah, it's like, it's the, and I think, you know, with all entrepreneurs, it's like that ability to create passion in other people or excitement around an idea. So that, something that, you know, my head buyer who lives in St. Kitts has been really great at, and something that has been a skill set that I've had to develop.
Yeah. So everything is gonna be on the website. So it's not gonna be, we're not gonna have like a boutique in the city where we can go, or is that?
So good. Actually, it's a great question. So so we're actually just decided on doing traveling trunk shows around the country. So we won't have a storefront per se, but we're going to be using different venues to showcase the clothes so people can come touch and feel the clothes, try them on, maybe have like a glass of champagne and come hang out. Shop. Yeah, so there will be one, I don't know if I can say it on the, can I say on the show? And so we're having a Boston trunk show on February 2nd at Rescue Boston, which is a vintage store on Newberry Street.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So then people can buy, or you just sort of look?
No, they can look, and then we'll have a ton of computers there, so people can actually buy the clothes right online, and then the stuff will get custom made for them and then shipped to their house.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah. So how many designers all together right now? Are you still accepting?
Oh yeah, it's a constant cycle. So we have a ton of designers coming on, even just over the next month. But we will be launching with 12 designers and well over 150 products on the site that can then be customized.
Oh, nice. So Boston, luckily, is sort of like your test pad right now to sort of be the first, and then you have other cities in mind. Absolutely. Are they primarily U.S. based that you're going to be traveling to?
As far as the trunk shows?
Yes. St. Kitts, maybe.
Yeah. Take a boat. Yeah. So we'll be traveling to hopefully Philly. That's still we're nailing that down, but it'll be Chicago, Nashville, DC, and New York City.
New York. So no San Francisco.
No, San Francisco. We're going to be driving with
Oh.
all the clothes.
It's almost like a road.
It's going to be a road trip. Yeah, it's a
great.
traveling truck show.
Truck show, that's perfect.
That's exactly what it is.
I think it's awesome. I mean, I think it's just being able to spread the word and having people try things. So even though it's virtual, I mean, I think the ability to go somewhere or knowing where you're going to be next, maybe that would be an awesome way to test it. And hopefully you have more cities, because I know there are some cities that are pretty fun. And they actually sort of reach out to you and say, come to whatever, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. If
like,
people want us to come, we'll try. Yeah, absolutely.
try
Well,
it.
and that's the nice thing about a website, too, is that it's pretty accessible from...
To do it. So in terms of marketing, I know a lot of time when people first start out, like, are you going to use celebrity? Like, how? What's going to become, like, the face of the company?
Yeah.
To sort of, like, spread the word.
Good question. So I think we have sort of three main strategies. So one is through fashion bloggers. So like I said, I think fashion bloggers have a huge influence over the space, and so we're working to cultivate bloggers. We just actually signed 2 New York stylists who have been in Teen Vogue, and they actually led like a BB window display. So they're great, and so featured bloggers on the site, for example. So one is using bloggers. One is using viral campaigns. So we have a ton of really fun stuff in the works as that I can't announce yet.
Yes, you can't. Top secret for now.
But we think YouTube and Facebook are a really cool way to get people. I mean, look at the shit girls say videos over the past 2 weeks. Yeah. They've been they've just had such a fun. They've been so fun. Like people have really engaged with the content. So not necessarily that it was for a particular brand, but brands have definitely leveraged it.
I mean, I think the fun way to do it. I mean, a lot of times it's not your typical commercial or the traditional way of seeing products.
Yes.
But I think a lot of time you see it, it's more, I don't know, it's sort of like people walking with things, and you're like, and you don't even have to see a brand. It's sort of like, ooh, like what's, you know.
Right.
And a lot of times you see it on the red carpet, but I think on a daily basis, I'm sure you see someone with something on, and you're like, where did she get that kind of thing? And you just want to know. And it's not, you're not looking for the brand per se. You're just looking at whatever you're seeing. And so that's always fun. So let's go back on the website. So again, this is the best way right now to sign up. I've already signed up. And then tell friends on Facebook. And then Twitter is the other, and you can invite them by email. So just use the link below, and that's going to bring them back.
Absolutely. And that will track specifically for you how many referrals you get.
Enter this contest. Oh my God, dresses were like, I didn't realize, I thought it was like a dress.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, every year we'll send you a dress. Absolutely.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so it's a big incentive for people.
So very nice.
Yeah.
So lots of reason to go on. And then so if they just type the name, they can find you on Facebook and like the company. And so for now, what's the best thing, if anyone, for those who are watching and hear about this, like what's the best thing you would want them to do to help sort of spread the word right now? Yes.
I would say 2 things. So one is check out the site when it launches, and the second
which is on Monday, very soon.
Which is on Monday, on January 30th. And the other is just like join our conversation. We're always on Twitter. We're always on Facebook. We talk to our customers. Just join the conversation with us and start talking, you know, about how fashion's personal to you and what you'd like to see in fashion. So that's what I would say. We just want people to come hang out with us. You know?
Go on the website, send you tweets and write comments on the page, trying to find what's going on.
Share us,
And I'm thinking the dates of where you're going to be next, starting in February in terms of the cities, will all be on the pages so people will know where to go.
Absolutely. When we launch, we'll have a full list of all the events.
Great. I mean, I know it's still the beginning, so what's the big sort of next... We were talking about 5-year plan.
Yeah.
That consultant always talk about sort of like what's the next big thing for Zoora that you're thinking about or your team is working on.
So we have a lot over the next year. So I think the first thing is just to prove out the thesis that women want custom clothing. It's a pretty uncharted space online. So that's the first. And then the second is we have some really fun plans. I can't expose all of them, but there's some really great ones around engaging the designers more and enabling them to scale in a better way.
So spring is going to be huge then, sort of leading into summer, fall,
Absolutely.
in terms of different collections that they're going to be offering.
Come next Fashion Week. So obviously we're just entering into fall 2012 Fashion Week.
Right.
Come spring, summer 2013.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
So
So hopefully you have
more
more contests that people can participate in, and
Yeah.
I'm hoping your customers and fans will be able to say, oh, try this, and like spread the word and making sure people are aware of the line and the company.
Yeah.
So it's been great. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for inviting me back.
So I'm hoping you can come on, and I think the girls will love to also chat once the page is up and we can explore it together and see sort of the conversation going on. And then the blog should be really fun. So I'm sure there'll be tons of pictures for people to see and try and test it out. So thanks for accepting our invitation.
Oh gosh, thanks for having
Hopefully
me.
you'll be back and kick off the spring season, right? Live on CCTV.
Absolutely.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. So we're just gonna go back on the page and see more. I had no idea this was dresses. I was thinking like one item you get to win, so it's fun. So we'll be spreading the word on Facebook and Twitter. These are the two best places.
Yeah.
And hopefully YouTube.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
And that's it.